this one.
In the next session we are a bit more flexible.
Yeah, just message, slide, and we finish it, and then we
Is that a presentation?
It's as PDF, but you can get when you have it.
The same. The one is the final one. So you can have it here. You can move from the next presentation.
Yes.
you can try during the break. You can try during the break.
I can try also. Just
No, but for you to you can move it
yeah.
right now.
Thank you, Daniel.
I only have like the PDF version. Wait for me. I have.
How about just this one?
No, I just need.
Oh, take it. Sorry.
I just need to find where the mouse is.
Okay.
Here. So when you want to have it in PowerPoint, you can.
With the scroll?
Try again. Put it on the table? Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Udruženje Peserošeš, tako dalje. Oni samo ne, mladi gorani idu samo i kradu drvo. Ovi stari gorani, oni samo kradu drvo. Znaš kako? Ono je poljoprivrednik koji se ne buni, oni ga izbaci iz udruženja. Ne žali. A onaj šumar koji radi, ne ga izbaci iz udruženja. On svoje da pije, jede i jebe i krade i jebe.
Ali da
radi to je nastaviti da
to je smrtni It's happening in our country as well.
Can you now test the audio because earlier it seems that there was a, I don't know, not the right cable was connected to your laptop, so can you try audio file or video file now so that you are sure?
I need to find my cursor. Here it is. Okay.
Imagine a future where
It should be like this.
Yeah, okay.
Earlier there was a cable problem.
Okay.
No. This should be there.
Maybe it was also the Teams call.
No. It's just a cable.
Okay.
Yeah. So please don't leave it there.
Okay.
For the last session. So it should be okay.
Тя може да не е виновна. Като се изключил компютър, да е разпознал личния мая. Кой това е? Да видя да си има. Не знам дали ще е.
So, if everyone can get back to his seats, then we can proceed. So, we are now going to continue our session. So, here a short brief look at our agenda. So we have still some sessions in front of us, but we will manage to catch up with some time. So no worries, we won't be as delayed as it might seem. Next session is, is the session Beyond EcoDaLLi, the Lighthouse Vision, and we have a presentation of our work package 7 by our project partner Julian Nichersu. Why did we separate work package 7 from the other work packages? Because this is the old work package that collects all the inputs and outputs we created in the other work packages and assembles it into action plans and a vision and into a perspective. And now I hand over the mic to Julian to give us his presentation.
Thank you, Verena, and what I have to add, in fact, will be an open session. Will be a dialogue together. Also, we have prepared a multimeter to have some physical parameters
Feedback, yeah.
to have your feedback. Thank you very much. Okay, that's the name of Work Package 7, Lighthouse Action Plan and Vision. Okay, and we have 2 points, as I said. In fact, this is one of the most important work package in EcoDaLLi. You see, in fact, work package 7, which is down, took informations from all work packages and create, in fact, the deliverables that we have to give to the mission Ocean. This was one objective, to support the mission, to consolidate the lighthouse, which is very important in our vision. And the second one is to implement the charter. As you hear today, in fact, it's very important people to be active, to come with their tasks, their problems from the field, and to create charters to reach the mission Ocean goals. 5 stages in what we done was in our proceeding. We start from knowledge, and this is very important. Strategic direction, policy alignment, stakeholder coordination. It's clear that there are disparate ideas and concepts of each ecological restoration project. For this is needed integration. Co-creation process. We must to have the stakeholders with us to co-design, co-production, and not at least to test the solutions that we provide. In this manner, we can create for the future scenarios. Lighthouse vision, in fact, frame strategies, action plans, and not at least roadmaps. But very important is the last one, scalable solutions, to have possibility to measure each step of implementation. That is very important in the vision. And for this reason, we put the last stage, implementation and monitoring. Policy impact must be, in fact, viewed through the portal, and we work very deep with Work Package 2, as you saw, nature-based solutions, with Work Package 6, and a platform, web platform, because it's very important to have data, knowledges. And not at least, the last one is dissemination and communication of EcoDaLLi project. As I said, from knowledge to lighthouse implementation. The message that we transmit here is from fragmented knowledge, from innovation action projects. I can give here then for all, DAO at Rest, Restore for Life, Dahlia, for sediments, InnoSed, Sundance, Dancer. These provide us very good knowledges, but are not integrated. This is the role of EcoDaLLi. And we have these instruments, nature-based solutions, cross-border innovative practices, living labs, and innovation ecosystem. This is what we use in work package 7. You have here, in fact, the engine, result, and impact. Innovation actions, 9 projects, as I say, and for this, from this, we have to scalable solutions, co-creation system, living labs are under developing, and also in DAO address, we will organize next month a new living lab to have a permanent governance network. I give you here an example that is a very known biosphere reserve, Srebarna, where live pelicans, and also in Romania is a great lake in opposite, and we must to create a common biosphere reserve, cross-border biosphere reserve, Srebarna Mostiște. This is just an example. I say the 3 E concepts through nature-based solution: environment, economy, equity. In fact, these are the main issues for balance transforming. The results, policy-ready solutions we have to put on the table. Operational lighthouse. The lighthouse must be operational, must work as a lighthouse, and this is important. All forces to go to this lighthouse, to polarize all innovation actions that we can provide. Danube Basin must be a model for Europe. Why? Restored ecosystems, resilient communities, and not at least data-driven governance. The governance need data. Without data, we can't do. But the data are in hands of researchers and must be for all. For achievements, key messages from project to operating system policy and implementation. In fact, our outcomes, living labs, tools, monitoring framework, nature-based solutions catalog, as you saw, and methodologies, greening river restoration blueprint. It's important to have such upscaling solutions, and governance using living labs, real living labs. These living labs not must to be just a meeting and find solutions. We must to make an institution, capacity building. This is very important. What we learn from EcoDaLLi. Integration and vision. Towards implementation. First dimension, from projects to system impact, is important in this integration to took from each project what they provide, their pearls, if you want, like wetland restoration, river connectivity, ecosystem restoration, integrated river sea solutions. There are just few examples of pearls that integration action come. But in the same time, we must to scale the results of this project to the scale of Danube Lighthouse. Concrete actions that we propose in our action plan: digital twin of the Danube. It's mandatory in the actual conditions of artificial intelligence. We have possibility to do. Monitoring infrastructures which provide data based on fair principles. Solutions for biodiversity and pollutions. This is first dimension. The second one, co-creation system. As I said, living labs which co-create by quadruple helix. Researchers, authorities, communities, and not at least businesses. It's very important this quadruple helix to contribute. Key message is from living labs to ongoing governance network. We create living labs from the springs of the Danube. We was in Ulm. We create there a great debate. We were in mid-Danube, not at least Osijek, exactly, in Danube Delta, and the last will be in lower Danube, near Silistra, Călărași, which is a cross-border intervention. Challenges and learning. We learn 3E theory: environment, ecosystem restoration, biodiversity, climate resilience. Economy, we insist on blue economy. It's a possibility to create green jobs, and there are enough space for such. Not at least, and I mean here about renewable energies, investments. It's because we discussed before about financing. Equity. It's very important people to feel safety, to be in good participation for their work. Solution in our vision: nature-based solutions and integrated policies. In fact, this is the engine of transformation. The Danube is built on quadruple helix, Danube Lighthouse, ensuring co-creation between quadruple helix. And from that 3E to other 3E is engage, enhance, expand, and not at least wisdom. This is what we want. Conclusion: concrete steps for Danube Lighthouse agenda based on actions, and EcoDaLLi is managing the operational mechanism of the lighthouse. That's from my side presentation for the work package.
So now we open the discussion, and also to ease this a bit, I will start a Mentimeter presentation. So if you want already to give some comments or anything, please share now, and I hand over the mic to Julian, and I will set up the Mentimeter. But perfect. Please continue.
Okay, thank you, Verena. Thank you. Yeah, in fact, please.
Oh yes, just I don't know if it's a question or a comment. No, really impressive, and thanks again, because I think this is the logic also of the lighthouse, is to coordinate and to help all the different actions that we're finding also at European level under the mission, ocean and waters. But what about the national and the regional actions? Because I think what you're missing, and maybe should be an additional step that also the next activity will follow, we need to follow, also to gather the input at national and regional level, all the projects that are going on. Because of course we need to align that, not only focus, of course it's relevant to have it for the mission, but the mission is included in a wider arena, and we need the involvement of stakeholders, as you know, and also to gather the input on what they're doing. So to see if they align, if we're on the same way, if we need to take them on board, or maybe they can give us some additional input, something that we did not think about before. So my question would be, how do you see this next step, and how do you see the involvement of national and regional research innovation activities in the future within the activities that you're doing right now? But I know that Albert has an answer as well.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for this question. Good to know. In fact, we are happy because, as you saw before, it was the representative of national strategy for the Danube for Bulgaria. Same is in Romania, and all countries has these national focal points for the strategy. For this reason, when we start with our agenda and action plan, we have in our front two strategies. One, it was of Danube region, and the second one, it was Syria strategy for research and innovation actions for the Black Sea. This was two documents what we have to promote and to start to implement. Of course, the cooperation at European level to the regional and local level is very important, and this must be done through living labs institutions. These living labs must born in each region, county, or along the Danube. This can create implementation of solutions. It's based on the experience of Steinbeis that they create at municipal level in culture. I saw that institution where people can come there and they benefit for different exhibitions, different conferences, and they can come at these living labs institutions with their problems as shelter. This is the next step, very important, to create institutions of living labs.
Julian, I just wanted to add, it's very important and you pointed very well. I would just want to mention maybe the management plans for the Danube River that are coordinated by the ACPDR and then aligned to the entire countries where the Danube is crossing, and also the Syria, you already mentioned it, for the Black Sea. And also very important, in the next CSA we are upgrading from living labs to hubs because we want to widen our vision, because somehow we felt that maybe the living labs were narrowing us a bit in our vision, being considered in some situations more regional than national focused and so on. So that's why in the next CSA we'll focus our attention to hubs in order to incorporate this national yes.
It would be mandatory for the
I can continue a little bit. In fact,
if we have time, with pleasure.
Just an idea. Just an idea, because as you know, we are partners for Danubius RI,
yes.
And this is research infrastructure, and this can be a hub, because it's a hub, not just for research infrastructure, can be hub for living labs, for management plan, because you said very well the management plans for river Danube. But also there are management plan for biosphere reserve, for other categories, and we can come together there. This research infrastructure hub is created exactly to serve to the local communities as a science pole.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Julian, and I know that we also have the social component that can play a vital role in engaging the stakeholders and listening to their needs and trying to solve them.
Yeah. We must put in conclusions Danube research infrastructure as a hub for Danube Lighthouse. No, good idea. Thank you.
Okay.
Elena?
Yes, so I started the next questions because I didn't want to interrupt the discussion, but also to move forward a bit of the session. also here which challenges should, I think I messed up in the design and you can only select one, I'm sorry, but which one challenge should be the Danube and Black Lighthouse prioritize even in the next 5 to 10 years, so moving on with the mission and also beyond of the missions. And as I see, governance defragmentation is like one of the key challenges, and I think especially for our lighthouse it is a very clear challenge because we are so diverse and so many different countries involved. So I would just quickly...
Maybe Verena, just a consideration. I think you're missing one point which is from my point of view relevant and maybe fundamental with the solution scaling up. Scale up of the solutions, because I see absolutely these are covered by, say, by the thematic areas, but more widely I would say that that is something that we need to do and we will have to do.
Yes, definitely, and
which
also
is part of that.
If I can add to this, is exactly what I was presenting a bit earlier, that we need a chain, a cascading effect, because if we don't have this, if we don't scale up and replicate the solutions, the effect that the implementation of our project will have is minimum. Absolutely. Yeah.
So the next slide would be who should play a key role in turning the lighthouse vision into action and who is currently underrepresented, and this also doesn't work. I'm sorry.
So it's only one. You ask for one answer.
Yeah, and I don't know what I did there. I'm really sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, so it's one answer. Who should play a key role that was underrepresented before? Okay, now I understand my question. Yeah, sorry. So, still moving a bit?
But there are two questions in your question, Verena.
Yeah, it was a bit of unfortunate design. But it is actually one question at the end. But yeah. So I will quickly change the question and hope I did not mess up with the next one. So which challenge must the lighthouse prioritize? And you can rank these ones. So also did not put scaling up in it because it's like also the key thing of the next phase of the mission. So scaling up and getting investment into the mission for these challenges. Are there any other comments, questions going on? Still some responses coming. So we see like the number one challenge seems to be the lack of data or knowledge exchange, and now it's shifted. So public engagement, fragmented governance, lack of data and knowledge uptake.
Sorry, Verena, just a question. Is it the lack of data or maybe the data that are available but not shared among the stakeholders?
Can I answer to this because I wanted to add something. I think the second and the third are very related one to each other. And this is something that we find out during the NIAD project, where I was working with the colleagues from CNR that I was telling you about. In one afternoon, after driving from downstream to upstream along the Danube River, they said, "Amico, I know what is the problem in your basin." I said, "Which?" It's lack of interinstitutional cooperation.
This
And
is-
because of this, we have lack of data. Data exists but is not shared. We have fragmented governance. So that's why your role is very important, because you might put some pressure on the guys that are sitting with their, I don't want to say asses, on their data and not sharing them. Yeah.
It's true. We need to gather new data. Just share the existing ones. It's more than enough.
And
to
you need
start,
historical
and then you see what is
data.
missing.
In order to develop your model, you need also historical data.
Yeah, so we see data and collecting it and getting access to it is still a real issue, and we need to see how we can manage this in the future, or how the next projects coming up will manage these. So what are the biggest barriers to implementing the Lighthouse vision in your context?
No, but before you had this impact. No, it was a question before, but at what level?
Yeah, it was.
So what was the answer?
Local government.
Local, yeah.
Local.
I know, but let's see.
That was clear.
Everybody said it's clear for you. It's clear
No,
for
I think
me.
it was
We
the
don't know.
answer also. Let's
It
go
was
back.
already the answer. I'm
I
curious.
think so, yeah.
Because we have two answers here.
Yeah, local and community level.
Good.
So,
yeah.
And here are the biggest barriers in
But it's fun because
your
it's
context.
city on the local. We have a problem. It's our problem. Okay, good.
It also reflects our discussion a bit, the data access and political priorities.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, this is also something projects might have difficulties to challenge that, so we need your support also. Okay, I think I go to the next. So which changes should be visible on the ground if the Lighthouse vision is successfully implemented? So it's also, what is your number one change you expect to see? I see ecosystem improvement is the number one thing. Also second, the behavioral change. Just because of time, I'll skip to the next one. And I think this is the last one. So in 10 years, what should be fundamentally different in the Danube and Black Sea region, in your opinion? So this also goes to our everything, yes. It might be, yeah, cooperation is a big deal, but maybe also the thing how we go on with nature-based solutions and making business cases out of them, because maybe we manage in 10 years to really have an innovation ecosystem where funding is involved more in a nature-based solution, because it might become more clear to people how important it is to invest in these solutions to prevent droughts, floods, or or at least decrease their impact a bit. So that's where I went with this question, but also maybe you have other things to add. So, thank you for this intervention, and I think we can move on now with the next session, and I'll give over to Bojana.
Yes, okay. So far, we have gone through the project logic of the EcoDaLLi project, and now during the next session, we'll make a step back to see the bigger picture and to try to explain what is the main connection between the EcoDaLLi as a coordination and support action and the innovation actions. So far, we have mentioned several times that EcoDaLLi is a coordination and support action within the Danube and Black Sea Lighthouse. Actually, as you can see and as you know, the lighthouse as a concept refers to a portfolio of projects with different types of projects. For example, we have the innovation actions where solutions are implemented. We have also research and innovation actions where knowledge is generated. We have coordination and support action, whose mission is to connect and to amplify the voices, to create synergies between all these different types of projects. Within the Danube and Black Sea Lighthouse, we have several topics that are covered: freshwater focus, wetland focus or topic, sediment focus, and fish habitat focus. You see that we have 9 projects in total. When it comes to freshwater focus, these are the Danube for All and Dahlia. Wetlands, the wetland focus is covered by Dawet Rest and Restore for Life. Sediments, Inuset, Sundance and Dancer, and fish habitat focus, Danube Lifeline and Swim project. We have also one new research and innovation action project dealing also with cascade funding, and this is SOS to Learn DBS. So the mission, the global mission of EcoDaLLi, besides its own, as I said, project logic with all the achievements, all the outputs, deliverables and results that we have shown so far, is to align these projects across the Danube and Black Sea Lighthouse to facilitate the stakeholder and citizen engagement at local and regional level when it comes to the organization of all stakeholder-related events. As you can see, we have already organized a lot of workshops, consultation sessions, expert sessions, online events, and so on. Also to support the knowledge exchange and replication when it comes to solution implementation and knowledge generation, and to generally to connect all the stakeholders within the quadruple and quintuple helix model, namely research and science, practice and implementation, businesses, NGOs, citizens, and the policy and governance section. So, in general, the EcoDaLLi as a project, or the mission of the EcoDaLLi is a connector and amplifier of all the innovation and research and innovation actions. We follow, or this general mission is based on 3 main pillars. First of all, the coordination pillar. In order to facilitate the coordination between these different types of projects, we have created this structure of the so-called Danube and Black Sea Task Force panel. It is a local panel whose mission is to facilitate the exchange of different members of each innovation action projects, focusing on different topics. So far we have 5 formats of these task force panels: Mission, Ocean and Lighthouse Task Force, where all the coordinators of the innovation actions are gathering together. Each and every task force panel decides how often and actually how to gather, how regularly, what kind of rules to follow, and so on and so forth. Of course, these meetings are online. Then we have the stakeholder and citizen engagement panel, the communication panel, the innovation and sustainability panel, and the associated regions and demo sites panel. As you can see, almost all relevant topics for innovation actions are covered by this structure of the Danube Black Sea and Task Force panel. These were one of the outputs of Work Package 3, where we had to create this structure for coordination between the innovation actions. And of course, this is one of the legacy points or the legacy outputs that will go beyond the EcoDaLLi project life cycle and will be uptaken by the next CSA. The second pillar of this coordination or coordination and support action logic is the engagement pillar, where we organize or we participate as EcoDaLLi representatives in collaborative workshops on different topics. I will give you only a
few examples. For example, the living clubs in all geographical areas that we have already organized during the last 3 years, as I said, several workshops within Work Package 3, several consultation and expert meetings on innovation and innovation upscaling within Work Package 5. Also, we have successfully implemented a high-level event within the official program of the Mission Ocean in Burgas in Bulgaria in October 2024, together with one of the innovation actions, in this case the Dawatrest project. EcoDaLLi actively participated in the Prep for Blue Stakeholder Assembly in Batumi in Georgia in November 2024, where we created this link between the Danube River Basin and the Black Sea. And also we have been involved, for example, in several events of the Sustainable Blue Economy Partnership, where also a lot of innovation actions were represented. The third pillar is focusing on knowledge and dissemination, where our mission is to create and to share common communication platforms. The most relevant example here, of course, is the EcoDaLLi portal, which is created to demonstrate the EcoDaLLi outcomes, but also to create a sort of platform for collaboration, for cooperation between the active innovation actions. Here you can see the illustrations of some of the achievements when it comes to the cooperation and coordination and support dimension of the EcoDaLLi. During the last 2 years, EcoDaLLi organized a joint booth, presentation booth for all the innovation actions within the Danube and Black Sea Lighthouse. A very good, best practice and a success story within our lighthouse is the communication newsletter that we are producing every 3 months, where we actually promote all the activities and all the good results, achievements of the innovation actions within the lighthouse. Also, very important, it has been already mentioned by Verena, this is a horizontal task that went through all the work packages and tasks. We were very mobilized to promote the mission charter, as we are very aware of its significance and importance for the Mission Ocean and for our lighthouse as well. At the beginning, we were very much struggling with low engagement. It was not so very popular. It was very difficult to explain to the local stakeholders what is the mission and what is its mission charter, the mission in general, but also the mission charter. But then within 6 months, we have really mobilized all the efforts of the consortium, and from 40 pledges, we went to over 140, actually, currently not. Yes, not 122. But yeah, within 6 months we have improved this number significantly, and we are still, now it's getting, of course, easier and easier because the local stakeholders are already aware of the mission and everything that we have achieved together. So this general idea of promoting the mission charter and of pooling the ideas of the local communities and the local stakeholders towards the mission charter is something that we would like to continue also within the other CSA. Of course, also to improve the visibility and the weight of the Danube and Black Sea Lighthouse within the whole Mission Ocean. Here you can see some of the examples of common EcoDaLLi representation within different events. As I said, the Burgas high-level event, where we had representatives from the Mission Ocean, from the Black Sea region, from the Danube region. It was really a very successful event where we could demonstrate not only the mission of the EcoDaLLi, but as I said again, the connection of the CSA and the innovation actions, in that case the Dawatrest project, the Black Sea Stakeholder Assembly in Georgia, and the Sustainable Blue Economy Partnership event. Of course, we encountered a lot of challenges and lessons learned. We have collected along the way when it comes to the task force panel, which is one of our main achievements, and it will enable the sustainability and connection between the current and the next CSA. We tried to launch this panel in 2024, and we soon we saw that it was too early for this. The project, the innovation actions, maybe even the EcoDaLLi project, we were all not so mature at that time, and the engagement of the different experts, the different representatives of the innovation actions was not very strong at that time. So we modified the structure a little bit, we took the time, and this year we relaunched the task forces, and now we really experience a higher engagement. Also, collaboration between the CSA and the innovation actions among the innovation actions is not foreseen in the grant agreements. It's a huge challenge because, of course, all these efforts require additional work, additional hours, additional meetings, and it's too much. So this is a challenge that should be overcome, yes, should be constantly overcome. Engagement must go beyond coordinators. Engagement between, for example, communication or engagement experts or associated regions should go directly. And the Lighthouse approach enables transformation at basin level. This is the general lessons learned. Coordination requires time, effort, and structure. This is the general conclusion. Before I go to the concrete examples of innovation action that will really illustrate the role of the CSA and how they fit into the big puzzle of this portfolio of projects, very briefly, 4 calls to action. How can you contribute to everything that we are doing? First and foremost, please visit the EcoDaLLi portal. It's very easy. You can register very quickly and really take part in the discussions and create and contribute to the overall discussion. Join the Mission Ocean Charter. It takes 5 minutes, not more, but your idea will be there and you will be part of this pool of resources and ideas. Initiate and engage in living clubs or other co-creation formats and collaborate across projects. These are our general calls to action when it comes to the Danube and Black Sea Lighthouse. And now, as I said, in order to illustrate the link between the CSA and the innovation actions, we'll present you 3 out of the 10 projects that are part of this lighthouse. Danube for All will be presented by Lisa. The Swim project will be presented by Stella from the University of Zagreb. And Albert will present the InnoSet project. In which order? Maybe Lisa, you will. You will be the first.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm representing Danube for All. Hi again. So Danube for All is an innovation action project, as mentioned. It's the restoration of the Danube River basin waters for ecosystems and people from mountains to coast. Its objective is to jointly work on sustainable interdisciplinary restoration pathways for the Danube River basin, and it's built on an underlying science-to-people approach, so co-creation is a big factor, and it actively integrates inhabitants' interests and empowers the Danube stakeholders from local communities, small, medium enterprises, investors, policymakers in the business sector. And one of the main outputs is the Danube Basin Restoration Action Plan, and it's still in process. So we are trying to get this Restoration Action Plan for the Danube Basin Lighthouse. This is informed by testing in these demo sites that I'm going to show you in a second, and it's building on knowledge exchange in these synergy sites as well. It gives a vision for upscaling restoration to the whole Danube Basin and inspires replication in these associated regions. So it will be, the Danube Restoration Action Plan will be scientifically based, practically oriented, and will attract and involve people, businesses, stakeholders, practitioners, and decision makers. And so this is very important for the next update of the Danube and the National River Basin Management Plans also the Danube flood risk management plans and the future national restoration plans, since it will involve a lot of data and a lot of testing. So just to give you a short overview of the demo sites and synergy sites, we have these 3 demonstration sites in the Upper Danube, Middle Danube, and Danube Delta. I think Albert also mentioned in his Work Package 2 presentation the Upper Danube demo site. And then there are these synergy sites as well, and then we have associated regions. So there are some measures being tested in these demonstration sites, and then there's a whole upscaling procedure on what can be maybe replicated, upscaled in different regions, also upscaled financially. One example for the Upper Danube, for example, was that there were some plans already, and then while planning, they also got further funding to even increase the activities, and it's a good practice for upscaling procedures. Yeah, and just some general information. So the project started in 2023 and it's running until end of 2027. It's 48 partners and associated partners. It's quite big, and the budget is 8.4 million euros. Yeah, I think.
16. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Hello again. I'm going to say a few words about the Innocent project. This is our time frame. We started in 1st of September 2024 and we are running for 60 months till 31st of August 2029. We are 46 funded partners plus the associated regions that we have. We are a very nice consortium. Our lead partner is represented by the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. 24 partners, 22 associated partners, and very important is that the countries represented by the partners cover 95% of the Danube River Basin area, plus an UK partners, the Stirling University is the UK partner. We are working together with the core team of the Danube Sediment, plus the Simona core partners. And among the consortiums, we have universities, research institutes, NGOs, SMEs, national parks, hydropower operators, International River Commission like the ACPDR and the ICPER, ministries and waterways administrations, and we had direct connections to partners through the Danube Forum project, the Danube Sediment, Q2, Merlin, Doors, and many other projects where the partners from the consortiums are working with. And just few ideas about the sediments. I don't know how familiar you are all with the sediments. They are very important for maintaining the ecosystem function, and this is due to the fact that they provide habitats quality. Also, they have an important role in flood and drought risk under the climate change because of their role in reducing the risks. And also they contribute significantly to maintaining the river health. The mismanaged sediment can create serious problems to the rivers, and not only. Also, they are very important for the sustainable hydropower, and we need to keep an eye on the sediment continuity, as I was, I think, mentioning it also earlier. We've heard this morning that the sediments are causing serious problems for inland navigation, and we had an overview of the Fast Danube 2 project. Also, they are a resource and environmental value, and we know that the sediments are being exploited and they have a significant role as being habitats for different species, flora and fauna. And unfortunately, we also have the contaminant interaction. due to the fact that the sediment acts as a source for sinking pollution, and we have areas like in the Danube Delta, we have the Ruse lagoon system, where unfortunately we still have historical pollution trapped in the sediments that are settling on the bottom of the lagoon system. And just to give you a very nice overview coming from the Danube Sediment Project, in the right upper side, you see there, it is a graph and it is showing the decrease of sediment input downstream of the iron gates after the construction. So the sediment input decreased with more than 70% or something like this, just due to the barriers that I was discussing about this morning. We have the longitudinal and lateral barriers, and those are contributing a lot to reducing the sediment budget. Also, the extensive engineering that I was mentioning this morning about the flood protection dikes that are disconnecting the floodplain from the river itself, the bank protection, the transversal structures. So you see, our work is quite complex. We have a lot of problems. We don't have standard sediments for quality monitoring, and we are trying to develop this within our project. And also, a very important aspect is that the sediment balance alteration became a new sub-item under the existing significant water management issues, hydromorphological alteration. And this happened in 2021, an update of the Danube River Basin Management Plan. Since 2021, we were not discussing about the sediments as being an issue for the ecosystems. This is how we've tried to answer to all of the issues, or at least most of the issues that I was presenting earlier. We are bringing together, as said before, the Danube Sediment and the Simona core team to work with them and the stakeholders from the 15 countries. We want to improve the understanding of sediment issues by developing research-based sediment monitoring and modeling methods. We are co-designing and showcasing innovative sediment management solutions along 8 demonstration actions, like sediment continuity improvement at river barriers, erosion mitigated as inside sections, measurable quality components, and also digital twins in the iron gates and in the Danube Delta. We want to produce science to people to empower the policymakers and the stakeholders to understand the problem of the sediment mismanagement, also to help us improve these issues that we are facing with. We are going to produce a sediment management toolbox and also the Danube Sediment Lighthouse Knowledge Center. And we are also developing the Lighthouse approach to co-implement sediment studies in 5 associated regions beyond the Danube River Basin. This is the main objective of the INNOSED, to establish the Danube Sediment Lighthouse Knowledge Center and to provide generally applicable sediment management toolbox in order to build on the outcomes and core contributions of the Danube Sediment and Simona projects. The specific objectives, I think they are a bit too detailed, and with your permission I will skip them. A very nice slide, I think, is the illustration of the demonstration actions that we have in the project. Lisa already mentioned the demonstration site from the Upper Danube. It's DS1. It's the Iller River in Germany. Then we have the second demonstration action, a stretch of the Danube River at Ascha in Austria. The third one is again a stretch of the Danube River between Slovakia and Hungary. The fourth one is Drava River at Barks in between Croatia and Hungary. And I don't know why, I apologize, I missed the first digital twin, which is the Iron Gates, and then the second digital twin is the Danube Delta. This is the project structure, and I think it's quite common maybe to the other projects dealing with sediments. I don't want to insist too much on this. And this was the final slide, and I thank you for your attention.
Next one, please. Swim. Swim, yeah.
Stanete. I come from the University of Zagreb, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering and Naval Architecture. And today I will briefly present our Innovation Action Swim project. In short, the swim is concentrated about restoring, improving, and protecting migratory fish habitats in the Danube River Basin and in the northwestern part of the Black Sea. So just a short, thank you. Just a short info on the technical data of the project. So it's 42 participants across 16 Danube countries. We started our project in September last year, and we are now in the project in the month 8 of the project, and the project is lasts till the August 2029. Firstly, I will present what are the main challenges that swim tackles. So migratory fish mainly depend on their habitats across the rivers. So if their habitats are not connected and are disaggregated, they do not have their natural ability to migrate. So these species need, of course, access to their spawning areas, nursery beds, feeding grounds, refugee areas, but many of those, as I mentioned, are fragmented and degraded. Also, the barriers in the river system, such as hydropower dams, disconnected sidearms, altered hydrology, pollution, invasive species due to climate change or the human impact. Also, the climate change itself, these factors all put a lot of pressure on the habitats and the migratory fish species themselves. Also, as we already mentioned today, the monitoring data is often fragmented between different countries. There is no unified methodology on how to collect data, what data is collected. Okay, there is some legislation dealing with that, but it's not still it's not unified. This makes coordinated restoration much harder and more difficult, and also swim is not only dealing with these problems. We have included ecological, technical, and social and governance challenges. And the purpose is, of course, to improve habitat connectivity, quality, and strengthen the wild fish population. Okay, now what is the... Oh, sorry. Yes, thank you. So what is the swim's approach to address these challenges? We have, like, let's say, 5 steps. First is pilot, second, monitoring and learning, third, the swim platform, fourth, the swim alliance, and the fifth, the scalable impact that will hopefully be generated through the project. So the pilot sites are project where the project tests and implements restoration actions. So the pilot activities include habitat restoration, connectivity restoration, monitoring of the fish migration and habitats, also ex-situ conservation facilities and supportive stocking, also water quality improvement and proposals for stricter protection of the key habitats. Furthermore, we go to the monitoring and modeling, so SWIM will collect data from the pilot sites and combine this with hydrological modeling and climate scenarios. This is all to improve the habitat quality assessment, and this helps project understand not only what is happening now, but how will these solutions remain effective in the future. So for this we have the SWIM platform. The SWIM platform is planned as a shared digital space for data, tools and knowledge exchange, also for a decision support, and this decision support that is connected to the migratory fish conservation. And now we come to the Swim Alliance that is planned to bring together authorities, researchers, NGOs, local stakeholders, and governance bodies, communities, to implement those measures. And it is important because restoration measures can be sustained only if they are supported by the people and the local stakeholders, which was already mentioned today. And so the project actually moves from local pilots towards a wider model. So field actions, evidence, digital support, stakeholder cooperation, and long-term scaling. Okay, and now I will show you the short video on the implementation that has already begun. This is the map of our 7 pilots and 13 reference sites. First one, this is the Thai River Basin, where there is a hydropower dam, also a already created nature-based solution, fish passage. But here we are monitoring the impact of the climate change and the temperature rise on the fish migrations. Next, we have a restocking facility. So throughout the swim, the reconstruction and expansion of the restocking hatchery is planned. Also, here was the picture of the Sava, dried up Sava sidearm in Noskovci, Croatia. And this is the Starača and Tišina swamps in the Bosnia and Herzegovina, where already some actions were implemented, and restoring of the flow of the water in the Starača is restored. And now we come to the last slide. So please follow Swim on the LinkedIn if you are interested to follow us throughout the implementation and our actions. Also, you can visit our website to learn more in details what we are doing. And I would like to use this opportunity to announce our open call for associated regions. So it will be launched on May the 4th. So if anyone is interested or knows the stakeholders that are eligible to apply, please check it on our website. It will be published together with all documentation. And thank you very much for your attention.
Now we invite you to our second coffee break, where you can use the time to exchange, ask questions. 10 minutes. We have 2 more very important sessions before the closing of our event, so please, 10 minutes, where again you can discuss, exchange, ask questions, and continue this Q&A session. 10 minutes.
I just muted my computer.
Really nice, and thank him again. If it's feasible next time, we'll go more than
Origini because the last one I got, I nearly also forgot to give back, so I'm not stealing your.
Yeah, you can.
Yes, thank you so much.
will drive it up, but of course
It's fine.
It's a lot of knowledge.
Verena, I wanted to ask you a favor. I will come there. I will come because
Water is fine. Thank you.
Everything.
I've highlighted it with yellow, especially not to forget about this. It's a motion. Yes, this one. Yeah, perfect.
And so you will talk about the legacy. Should we then switch to?
Thank you so much.
No, to Ariana. I had some name with A.
I think it's this one, then Ariana, and then the conclusion. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
First time we had it. It's a pleasure. It's a couple of Germany is also
Турция песала не половина в
L pants, L shirts.
Depending on each other.
Just celebrate
Bună, dragul meu, aștept un răspuns. Nu, dar eu aici stau în tensiune pentru că ești în urmă cu totul și uite chestii, spune. Un mesaj ceva, nu trebuie să mă sun. Nu mai stau la pod, o stau jumătate de oră, nu știu ce. Și eu mâine după masă mă duc la Cluj. Deci eu nu sunt, nu sunt pe tipul meu, am o disciplină. Zi, vii la 11, vii bine. Da, dacă cineva îmi spune, mă liniștez. Dacă nu spune nimeni, vorbești cu mare, nici mare, și nimeni nimic, nu? Stau aici pe malul celălalt al Buncării și m-ați lăsat. Asta. Ok. Deci mâine, începând de la 11, 11 jumătate, ajunge cineva. Da? Și mă sunați. Mai devreme am două acțiuni dimineață. Poate 10 jumate. Ba da. Hai să zic. 10 jumate, da? Da. Încă nu știi. Unul dintre voi, dar trebuie cineva să ne zică, pentru că voi rămâneți pe plajă. Am înțeles că rămâneți pe palesă, noi suntem la Coptălui, trebuie să venim la voi. Înțelegi? Deci cineva ne anunță când ajunge aici. Da? Ok. Bine. Mersi. Ok, bine. Mai bine.
So, our 10 minutes are basically over. So,
come on, guys, please.
If you can come back.
Our last session.
And then
what is that?
We can wrap up after the last two sessions.
Yes, next time I will do this event in the morning, early morning, during the coffee break. Maybe there will be more people around. fine?
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe the window is not open, that's all.
No.
Try this one.
They don't mind somebody?
No.
It's working?
No.
Sure?
Yes. Ja, gib mir eine Minute.
Okay. Should I start? Okay, welcome back. Now that you've heard from some of the corporations in the Innovation Action Project, we're going to present to you one of the collaborations we did with EcoDaLLi, another Innovation Action Project with EcoDaLLi, and I'm going to introduce Vlad from Ruse, and he's going to present the session to you, the policy dialogue.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you, first of all, for all the organizers. This is an amazing place where to meet each other and to try new synergies for the future, because we already know, I think, 50% of the faces, but new faces are familiar, and I think for the future we can, why not, take this opportunity to come with new ideas, go for new submissions, and why not, in a few years, coming here back in this boat, maybe, why not, part of the project equipment. Huh? First of all, introduce myself, Vlad Sandu, Director of International Development in GeoStud. For who doesn't know GeoStud, GeoStud is a Romanian company, 25 years of activity with expertise in geotechnical engineering and environmental protection studies and services. So it will be a pleasure and an honor to present today on behalf of our company and on behalf of the Wet Rest project, the policy event, public policy event for who remained here. I will give you a few instructions. You receive the folder, and I kindly ask you to open it, to unfold it, to keep the pen, the folder, and to give us back the questionnaire. It's a very quick one. You can do it at the end of this session. I think it's more effective. We will have, as I told you, a brief presentation, so we're not 1 hour, no worries. And the second part, it will be a questionnaire, and why not, a quick Q&A session for what we are delivering here. But before starting the presentation, taking this opportunity, having here Dr. Ekaterina Bashfarova from Kavribas, who is the coordinator of this project, I kindly ask to Ekaterina to come for a few words for a welcoming of this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Vlad. So the Wet Rest is a project you will see of also 46 partners, 26 partners and 20 associated, and the Climate, Atmosphere and Water Institute at Bulgarian Academy of Sciences, of which I am director, is the coordinator of this project. We started at the second goal of the mission, and so not all of the Wet Rest partners were involved in EcoDaLLi, and I just used the opportunity to tell that it is for the CSA actions, it's very important to have at least the coordinating institutions in them. But this was not the case, as CSA action EcoDaLLi started before us. So we could not be there, and in this way it was not so easy, the communication. But okay, it went very fine. And we did what we could with Boyan Kulov. Professor Kulov was our representative in EcoDaLLi.
Thank you so much, Ekaterina. So now we're going deep, but I will start with a quick quiz about three numbers I written on my notebook, and they are 1, 31 and 470. Does anybody know what are they representing? I will give you the response, it's a quick one. First, I can say the most international river in the world. I will not say the name. 31st is the 31st longest river in the world. And 470 are the kilometers between Romania and Bulgaria, which the Danube is covering. 470 kilometers.
Wow.
I checked different sources and they are all on the same page. So.
A lot of work.
Yes, it is. Two. Boriana.
Bridges.
Two bridges,
Yes.
correctly. Hope functionally.
1.5, I would say.
1.5 in this period. Let's see, maybe
Sorry.
in the next period it will be
Okay,
two
right.
for functional. So, let's see, the scroll will help me. Right now, it's not working, but maybe my finger. Tuck. Oh, fantastic. This is the agenda for today. We will cover 8 points. So, the DAWREST introduction, partially done by EcoDaLLi. The DAWREST approach to wetland restoration, because DAWREST is more focused on wetland than other projects. The demonstrators of our project, the preparation for replication we are doing, the DAWREST solution already provided and ongoing, the policy dialogue, somehow the most important thing of today's presentation, and the integration today here in Ruse with the Danube and Black Sea Lighthouse, and the next steps and questionnaire, as I've already told you, and a wrap-up session, what we are planning for the future. Familiarized, maybe till the end of the presentation I will be able to. Okay, Lorena, with the click. We can do a random slides.
Sorry.
Okay, I click that. Okay. Okay. This is the DAWREST project, how it is situated in Europe. As Cordy was saying before, EcoDaLLi, 12 countries covered, 26 project partners and 20 associated partners as well. The project started in June 2023 and it has another year till the end of it, May 2027. We have 3 main demonstrator sites, Croatia, Bulgaria and Romania, and it was around 9 million funding. This is the real map of our project, including also the Danube river basin. The main demonstrators, as I told you, are situated between Croatia, Hungary, Serbia and Bosnia, Bulgaria as well, and Danube Delta area in Romania. Our approach to the wetland is a very effective one, and our main goal is covering this, I want to say, sensitive issue in the world, because the wetlands are covering 6% of our world, but they are very, very unprotected. I'm talking about our region, but I'm pretty sure that in the world the measures weren't, I want to say, at the level expected. So this is our map, our main 8 points about our wetlands approaching restoration, starting from engaging the local communities and going through all of them, ending with assessment. So you can see here bottom-up approach, which is confirming whether if it's the right approach from the European Commission voice. I don't have a good relation with the map with the mouse today, but okay. Let's start from our journey from Croatia, where between February and October 2024, our first public recommendation event, public policy recommendation event was delivered by our partners between Serbia and Croatia as well. As you can see, 5 of them were delivered here, 5 of them of recommendation, I mean, starting from the cross-border inter-regional cooperation for wetland restoration, going through the foster, the multi-stakeholder governance and ecosystem restoration, and ending with encouraging community engagement and participatory policy development. I will ask for your assistance, definitely. Okay, Lower Danube, where we are now. Last year, thanks to the cooperation with several partners from our project, we reached to organize policy recommendation event for the lower Danube area. It was held in Tutrakan, and during that event, there have been delivered 6 recommendations. A part of them are included also in the Middle Danube, so this is encouraging us that we have common ideas, maybe with different approaches. I will start from the Romanian-Bulgaria cross-border cooperation framework, and this is why we are here today. Going through integrated ecosystem recreation with local economic development, because we will talk later also about business models and blue investment. Creating a supporting framework for innovation and technology transfer in the blue economy, aligning public policies with sustainable and resilient investment, promoting participatory living lab mechanism, and ending with the ensuring continuity in the pledging process with the mission charter. Thank you, Verena. You will have a beer at the end of the presentation. But not in this way, in the other way. The other direction, not from here. We're back to the future.
So go to Danube.
Okay, indeed. Okay, perfect. During the Lower Danube event, we had the possibility also to have a wide discussion regarding, perfect, this is the one. You can see some genuine images from our environmental team. I was saying that we had some very interesting discussion with the stakeholders and also with public policymakers over there, and we come with some solutions together also with the other SMEs of the consortium, delivering ideas of products, ecosystem, tourism recreational industries wise for the public and the private sector. So I think this is somehow more important than the history of the project as well, because we let something after, a legacy, sons, nephews, and so on. The channels of the distribution for sure will be direct sales or e-commerce, as is happening usually nowadays. Okay, next. Danube Delta demo, we didn't do a real policymaker recommendation event, but during the years, specifically, and thanks to DD&I support here, during Delta and Wetlands Symposium, which will come back, as I understood, next year, we delivered and we discussed intensively with who was present over there. This is an international symposium, a very important one, and I hope you have the possibility in the next years to participate. And together with the DD&I and the Romanian partners, we are planning, starting from today, the possibility of delivering it during or the symposium event, or eventually during the autumn with some other important and relevant events. You are waiting for my sign. I was waiting for you. But it's fine. One back, I guess. No, you can go now. Okay, preparation for application. So the main actors on the table. 10 pilot sites for our project. 14 sibling sites, you've seen onto the map, and 6 associated regions. I think this is a very good successful story about associated regions, because I was discussing with some of you during the coffee break that we are somehow widening, first of all, the solutions which WS is providing to other different countries. We are starting with 2 associated regions in Bosnia, 1 in Spain, 1 in Turkey, 1 in Montenegro, and the last but not least in Georgia. So as you can see, WS is growing across the borders thanks to the support of the associated region. For example, we'll have one of the GAP in Andalusia, so to be in Spain. One associated region decided to say, hey, we need your help here. Let's have a applique discussion on what you're doing in your project, and let's implement it in our area. That was the solution. We divided them in 3 main pillars here. We can start for sure from the Middle Danube demo. Cherry on the top here, for sure, from the innovation action delivered. We have the construction of the green hatchery, which is hosted in Velika Gorica. The second one, Kalimok here in the map, so Middle Danube. I was discussing with some Bulgarian partners today, and the most relevant is an ongoing process. That's a good song. and I think it's appropriate for the boat. But just a couple of minutes and I went up. Piloting a pontoon power generator for renewable energy. So we are ending also this process. This is ongoing. This is a confirmation. And last but not least, the Danube Delta, the demo, is providing and having the Karaman fish pond. So we have a real solution onto the field to be first of all analyzed, replicate, and why not scaling up thanks to also blue economy scale up. Okay, coming back to today, we somehow selected, I think, the most important policy recommendation which we have to deliver. First of all, strengthening the Romania-Bulgaria cross-border cooperation framework. We saw during the last session that the most important thing is having a synergy of governance inside one country, but also into the cross-border point of view. Creating a supportive framework for innovation and technology transfer in the blue economy is a very relevant one. Last but not least, the role of the local stakeholders in the policy recommendation interested in solution implementation. I think this is a very relevant one because the real beneficiary of our activities are the local communities and the local and the civil communities as well, which we all hope will be the real beneficiary of these solutions. Our let's call it vision was created from the open discussion during these years. We created together a strategy with the partners. We had an action plan, and after that, we delivered a roadmap. You will see it in the next slide. Okay, the next steps are simple. Finalize and integrate the policy recommendation. We'll have another event after this successful one, we all hope. Strengthen the cross-border cooperation. This is a mantra for all of us. Scale solution into policy and practice, so transform them literally. Mobilize funding and investment on the blue economy. Guido is saying yes, so
it's a difficult part.
It's a difficult, but simple thing that's not for us. Last but not least, implement monitoring and stakeholder engagement mechanisms as well. Back to the okay. This is the moment of the question. So if you didn't complete it at all, you have 10 minutes. If you have any kind of question, okay. I'm here, and after that we'll have a small wrap-up session.
Great.
Can we choose more or just one?
Yes, you can. Sure.
Choose more options.
Yeah, no,
yes.
yeah. It's
if you consider, yes, it's useful.
Everyone, because once
this
you
is your voice,
one,
so you select exactly what you consider to. Thank you.
final event, no? Exactly.
Why didn't you create a committee?
maximal minutes. Take your time because your voice is important.
This.
Don't copy my answer.
I already did. I did it before.
No, that is not my.
Not yours. Okay.
No, I did not put crosses, but nobody picked like that. And I have to be a little more full. Yes, I think
only 10 minutes work. Okay. Folder.
you were somebody else. Driving and you really have to drive.
Looks like we are having all the questionnaire. If somebody is missing, take your time, take your time. Okay, continue to talk. Last slide, please. I called it a wrap-up session, just because we are somehow declaring what we're going to do in the next 1 year till the end of the project, but also after the project ending life. From the lesson learned on all these 3 years, and obviously we're including also this event, the DAO at Rest, which is part of the Danube Lighthouse, we are delivering, as I told you, the policy recommendation event through the blue implementation, blue economy implementation. This is our, I want to say, most important target. We are creating today the legacy beyond the DAO at Rest project for the future, and last but not least, the innovative solutions, implementation and replication will be our result onto the field. Now I will let the word to you, also for a Q&A session. I hope you enjoy the presentation and what we delivered today, as we're enjoying the time with you and this exciting place together. And from Joe Stud and the rest, we thank you for your attention and time. You resist.
Vlad, probably you tell us why we have this questionnaire.
Thank you, Delia. You're more you're more on the point than me.
Yes,
True,
okay.
true. And also, Katerina asked me, the most frequent question was, why the question in the paper? Because we're in a paperless era and we don't have to consume papers and so on. Just because we all know that we're on the boat and we all know that maybe the networking was not working, successfully working instead of in the previous presentation, and we had the plan B, as we can have and we must have in our projects. If it's not working in the plan A, we have to go into plan B. So this is the reason. Thank you, Delia, for reminding me. Again, thank you.
Particularly that is our last event, so we wanted to capture our knowledge. As part of one, no, okay, what I would recommend.
Don't let me alone.
No, I won't. So, because I'm also part of Dow Trust and we have several sister projects and wetlands restoration, what we've seen today, for instance, in terms of policy makers' presence here, having the representative of the Danube strategy, because Bulgaria has this this year the presidency. This is a very good opportunity to strengthen this policy recommendation. So probably an interview with Mrs., you know the name, yeah, but she was extremely helpful and nice, and I'm always very impressed as a researcher when I see representatives from a ministry or from the agencies spending time with us, because they are very busy people and they are tired with engaging, particularly in the research. They want implementation, they want results. Here, through Dow Trust and under this CSA umbrella, we can really go towards implementation to communities. We didn't talk much about communities today because it was not the agenda, but one of our, let's say, outcomes in EcoDaLLi is also engaging with communities. When Lisa mentioned this tool, Practices Living Lab tool, which is supporting the implementation of Living Lab, and this is, okay, it was done by Smart Mobility Solutions, our company. This is going towards communities. Initially, we developed a questionnaire for stakeholders. We didn't realize that outside of EcoDaLLi, let's say, stakeholder mapping or ecosystems, we have communities, local communities that are happy or not to implement some solutions. In UK, we say, not in my backyard. Sorry, no, no, no. You go outside, I don't need this and that. And they have the first power. Particularly that in implementing these innovation actions, we have to go locally, yeah, with local solutions, and then we go regionally. All these demonstrators that our colleagues presented, they have local solutions and they have local stakeholders. So engaging with communities in this cross-border cooperation, this is something fantastic, and you can create, as part of this policy impact, kind of framework. And please coordinate with Oriana, because she mentioned several task forces, and one of these is community. The reason I'm emphasizing this, I was shocked when you mentioned 400 kilometers. I knew that there's a lot of work to be done in Lower Danube, but this is one of our main priorities in Dow Trust, to emphasize and do more work and have probably not Dow Trust 2, but another project, and put the Lower Danube on the map. What we know from this Danube River basin and the lighthouse is that funding went in the upper Danube, a bit middle, Danube Delta, yes, Black Sea because it's there, and now it's even more important, Lower Danube, quite a lot to absorb. For a researcher, this is a benefit and fantastic blessing. So hopefully this Romanian-Bulgarian cooperation will move on in a strategic way, because you mentioned these action plans and then the roadmap, so good luck. I'm part of the team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delia, for this precious intervention. If somebody else wants to add something? Guido, I know you have something.
No, I have a lot of questions, but I mean, no.
Well, please.
No,
It's time for
maybe.
discussion. We can discuss
then if we have the
everything.
time, with pleasure.
Yes.
No, I was just wondering, really interesting also to see that you're developing solution, not only developing, trying to replicate, but also analyzing the business cases.
Yeah.
Then, can you tell me maybe one of the best business cases that you saw and one of the worst?
I can.
Just,
I will let the word to our
but just to
more
me
empowered.
also. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm still ignorant on this, and I'd like to see and
No
understand
worries.
better things.
I will let the word to
Okay.
Delia, who is
So again,
absolutely empowered here.
So the best business case, which is part of our request, and we discussed about it in Tutrakan when we gathered the municipalities, is Karolman Fish Pond. And I will explain why it's the best, because it was also presented during the Ocean Days. And following this presentation, the commissioner came back to Danube to see what is about this Karolman Fish Pond, what is the benefits, and how can be implemented, because now it's scaling up this innovation, and what will be the replication. Why we consider this the best business case? Firstly, because in Danube Delta we have isolated communities. The first example of policy impact that Vlad provided, it was in Middle Danube Green Hatchery. The community is rich, replication is easier there. What we are doing in Danube Delta is trying to build on an existing unused infrastructure. So imagine an infrastructure, kind of semi-aquaculture from the communist era that was not used for several decades. And we have several examples in Romania and Bulgaria with old facilities that are not used. There we are building a new facility using several solutions, ecosystems, combining with climate change, trying to use this circular economy from the third objective of the mission related to READ, but mainly engaging with local communities, because Karolman village is very close to this facility, but they are isolated in the Delta. So the benefit for us is to see people engaging with our solutions and creating jobs that are growing. So this case study will be also part of our blue economy, because in June we will launch the strategy for blue economy in the Danube Delta and Lower Danube. This was not yet on the agenda, it will be on the agenda.
Surprise.
Yes, no, but based on today's meeting, honestly, I'm extremely impressed about the presence of Bulgarian officials. This is a very good example and a welcome for our solutions. So this somehow, it's kind of motivation and engagement for us, because it's an opportunity. All the researchers here, they know that we are fishing for case studies and for some policymakers to allow us to develop some solutions. We can go for business models, but unless we have the policy framework, we cannot implement. And we have several examples, particularly in this part of Europe. We don't have policy frameworks in place. Or even if I mention, okay, in Brussels we have this directive, yes, but it's not yet implemented. Yes, it's implemented, but only the methodology is not yet, so we cannot enforce it. So it's quite a long way. We're happy to have the Ministry of Environment with us, because we have support. This is something that is not easy to get in a project. So we have in several projects that many ministries of government, we have agencies from your side. So moving together, I guess we can do a lot in this lower Danube. And particularly that there are so many cities, and the mayors were so helpful in Tutrakan. I think we have to seize the moment and build on it. So, in fact, EcoDaLLi will have the legacy till the kickoff of the next CSA, but also beyond, to work together with several stakeholders based on results. Because it's the support for the blue economy together with the innovation action projects. Thank you. So it's Karolman Fish Pond, the best one.
Nice.
For
Thank
us.
you. Thank you.
Other projects, they may have some other results.
Milan, question?
So would you say about aquaponics application in fish ponds? You know what is aquaponic?
You have to say.
So this is production, for example, of vegetables and